get out of Babylon. I'm going to be doing a stove startup in a cylinder stove from Cedar City, Utah. If you want to buy a good wood stove for camping that's portable, this is the perfect thing. An outfitter model. We sold them in 1999 Y2K. Than anybody in the country except for Caballos, and that included every single catalog sale, every single store sale, and we sold quite a few stoves for them that they got the money for, because we spent $600 to go to a exposition, a preparedness expo, and the guy in Kansas, this guy would follow us around with a Cabela catalog in his back pocket, and we were selling what we called the works. I mean, the stove, 2 trays, 2 water tanks, oven with extra trays. You could bake 7 loaves of bread in the oven, and we'd spend $600 to walk in the door, $100 for fuel, $100 for motel, 2 nights, 3 nights at a time, and then we'd spend 2 or 3 hours selling the stove, showing all the features of it. When they were convinced, they'd usually get there on Friday, they'd look at everything, and then the last day was when they make their purchase. Well, when we got done with our presentation, this guy would walk up and show them, you can get this from Cabela's for cheaper. So we lost a lot of sales that way, and it was very irritating, because we spent like $1,000 to get there and be there, transportation and everything. And it's very, very irritating. Anyway, don't buy one from Colorado stoves, because they're not made right. They took the design, copied it, which is, you can't stop that. But the welding on their stainless steel tanks, they don't use the proper soldering with a wire, and they rust. I've seen it. One of the campgrounds here at Caplinger Mills has one, and it was the tanks were rusting out, so not good. You don't want to be drinking rusty water with who knows what kind of chemicals in it from the metal particles. Anyway, okay, so everything has several uses. My pot here that I was telling you could use this pot for a whole bunch of things. Packing leaves. I said I'm going to put on the stove with water in it, but the first thing I did with it, I didn't show this, I used it as an ash bucket. Now you should have a covered ash bucket, so when you put the hot ashes in it, you put the lid on and it smothers it, and you could sift it, and have charcoal, a lot of charcoal in there. I'm a firm believer in burning all your wood instead of wasting all that time and energy cutting, fuel, chainsaw gas, fuel mix for the chainsaw, oil for the bar, truck, fuel, breaking down, flat tires and everything, and then to throw those coals out and throw them outside doesn't make any sense to me. So I believe in leaving them in there. So the 2 years we were in Kansas for 3 winters. The first winter we heated with a Korean War era potbelly stove, round top loading stove. But the second 2 winters I started 2 fires. One the first winter and one the second winter. I never started another fire. And I would even clean the ashes out at the time while the stove was running. What I would do is, I'm going to turn this around so you can see what I'm doing here and get some light on. Set some light on the subject. Where's the other one? I forgot how to turn this on. Not a bad light. It's from Walmart, a Hyper Tough. The one I had was a 6-volt charger, but this one has a micro USB plug, so that's cool. I can actually charge this one up, recharge it. Lasts a long time. I had it in the outhouse there for a long time, and it never did go out, so it's still running. That was in there for months. Not that it was used real heavy, but okay, I got to get that focused in there so you can see what I'm doing down there. I'm going to angle this down, I'm going to lower it down, and get rolling here. La-di-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, come on, this one, let's go down. I think get this lined up so you can see what I'm doing. Get it focused on the opening. Bottles on top. I can't even see where the door is. I can see the light there, and the light's inside. Oh, I can see this. Okay, now I see it. What's in the way? The cot leg. Okay, sorry about that. Not much I can do about it right now. Let's try something here, though. Let's put it up a little bit. I don't think you can do this on all stoves, but this one it worked really perfectly on. Fuse lighting. Okay, a little more. There we go. Okay. If I could just lay this somewhere, it'd be good. I'm just going to show you what I did. If you can see, I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing, but I would take the poker and just leverage down. This is a heavy ball in the back, so then I would take the tongs and put them under the, expand them up, put it on top of the stove, and then hook it under the thingy, the grate. So, and then I just clamp it up. And I would hold it up with one hand and then clean the ashes out with the other. Now, I had already cleaned it, so there's nothing in there. I cleaned it, but that's what I would do. I never started a second fire either winter. These are not any good anyway. I'm going to get them out of the way. So I'm going to put this back in there. So the stove comes with a really heavy grate, and it's a great grate, really good grate. I had another one here, I thought, but it's a heavy metal one, about 1-inch strap steel. Now I have a stainless steel screen in there that keeps all the ashes up from going down through the grate. If you can keep the coals up out of the fire, you're going to burn them all. The first time I did this, I had it going, and I was cleaning the ashes out about every 3 days, and I would run about 1 banana box full of wood every day. That's what I was heating when I was running it full time. And I would so when I put the screen in there, I don't know if all the ashes went up the chimney or whatever, and I'm talking acid, not cinders or anything ignitable. Just the ash was so fine. After about 3 weeks, about 15 days of burning, there was no ashes underneath the grate. Some of them were sitting on top of the screen. I did a little bit this time, but it would burn everything up. The stainless steel spreads the heat. This will increase your fire holding capability by 30%. These are university studies prove this. Put this back up here. You also have like a 57% less chance of having a flue fire because you burn your wood instead of building it up in the stack. So anyway, I have that, and then I have a piece of expanded metal, that diamond plate stuff. I got a piece here. This kind of stuff. That's enough for a grate. I'll have a long piece of that in there, and then I've got the screen, and I've got a heavy piece of what they call a drill plate. It's perforated plate, really heavy. It's like almost not 1/4 inch, but almost 1/4 inch thick. Very heavy. I have that in there so I can slide wood on it without hurting the stainless steel screen or tearing it up. Okay, so now we're going to do a top-lit updraft fire. Now what you want to do is you want to have your biggest pieces of wood on the bottom, and this is like the only way to do this. I'm going to put this back up there. I just wanted to show you that. I use that to clean the ashes. I use it to load the leaves in the grocery bag. Now I'm going to put it back up here. I've got a brush here somewhere. So water is 5 times better than anything else. There are some things better like wax at absorbing, storing, and radiating heat. Water is 5 times better. That's why they use hot water radiator heat and hot water radiant floors. So water is good for storing heat. So you want to have water not just for the humidity, but for the fact of storing heat. When I was in here and I was running the stove, and I put one of the 5-gallon stainless steel hot water tanks on this side, on both sides, but I have it on this side. And when I walked by, it felt, I could feel the warmth. Just, it was like, felt like 3 times as much more warmth. Oh man, come on. Okay. So that's about centered. And what is that's the door. Get the door out of the way. And what is that vertical thing there? That is the side of the stove. Okay. So you can see in there. Okay. So I'm going to start loading it up. Big pieces of wood on the bottom. I'm not going to use huge pieces of wood. The thing that I absolutely love about a top lit updraft fire, I call it fire and forget. Okay. You can lay the fire, light it, walk with one match, one single solitary match, come back 3 hours later and put more wood, another piece of wood on the fire. You will not ever fail in doing that if you do it right. So I'm going to put a pretty big piece of wood here. And then the third piece, I'm going to put that bark up so it'll fit in there better, just for shits, grins, and giggles. Another piece here, bigger. I'm not going to put that in. Okay, another thing you want to have is welding gloves. I don't need them now because I'm not planning with not doing anything with fire. But if you have a problem, you can pick something up and throw it out. If you get a fire inside, you can pick up the log. If something falls out, you can grab it, pick it up, and throw it out of the building. Okay, so I'm not going to put them on now. Silicone gloves work also. Oh, that's what I got up there. Got that. Yeah, that's what I got up. I got it. I couldn't remember what I got up to get. I can grab them easy. I grabbed these on eBay. They're supposed to be good for 1400 degrees. That's pretty hot. They're basically welding gloves, but they have silicone things, and they're hard to get on and off. But for someone with a little bit smaller hands than mine, they'd be good. They're barbecue gloves. You can get them on eBay or Amazon or something. That's good. Welding gloves are really the best, really, by far, because they're easy to get on and off. Now I can slip these things on. I can grab them, get them on, and then take them off easy too. Those other things take like 5 minutes to get on. They're quite the pain in the butt to do it. So, you know, Miller, and any good welding glove. They're 14-inch gloves. Very good. Okay, get that out of here. Get the silicone ones out of here. All right, now we have one layer of big stuff. If I get it in there a little bit tighter, it'd be nice. You see, the problem with the stove is it's 18 wide, 13 deep, and 28 inches long in there. So you don't have a lot of room to play with once you start doing this type of fire. It's still worth it though. So I'm going to put some smaller stuff in. This is my dresser from my little kid, oak. I'm going to put that in there. What I'd like to do is put in some cross pieces, 90 degrees from these. So let me throw some little short pieces in. Crossways. When I say 90 degrees, crisscross. Lincoln log it. No, put in some long ones. My old dresser that's been laying out rotting. Very dry oak, but it's very dry oak. Pretty good. Cedar's great. Pine is great because they have sap in them. This here is fat wood, that's what I'm going to light it with. Okay, now we're going to put in some long ones. Little, smaller ones. You don't want a lot of branches off the sides because that'll just interfere with getting more in there. Now I have some bigger stuff here that I should have put in before. Go ahead and put it in. This one might not be, I think it's long enough. I checked that earlier. Now if you get, I can put in a 31-inch piece, long piece of wood in here if I go in diagonally. I call it drilling it. I just drill it in. I know I can get this in here. I think I can get it in there. Maybe not. Let's go the other way. I had it in there. Oh yeah, I was going up and down. I can't go up and down right now. Okay, so I'm not going to do that one. This is a dry piece of junk. When I say drilling it, I mean when it's burning and I want to get another piece of wood in. Sometimes I'm putting in like a 2 or 3 inch piece and I just twist it because it'll dig its way in. So I just call it drilling it. That's what I do. And some more twigs, long ones. And that is probably about enough. Now I have this ready to go. A bag of leaves, like I said earlier. Let me put that one in, put it back. It's a little bit easier being on there. It's like walk it back there. Maybe not. That's where you don't have all the little protrusions and little branches sticking out of there. Because that'll keep it hard, make it harder to light. Okay, so now we're gonna if you have trouble starting a fire, there's always an old Indian trick. Native American trick, okay? I learned this from a Cherokee friend of mine. And it was, they would get there to a campsite and it'd be raining. And they said, man, we want to go hiking, but we're not going to be able to have a fire when we get back. It'll be soaking wet. And he goes, oh, just go ahead and have a hike, have fun. I'll start the fire, don't worry about it. How are you going to do that? It's an old Indian trick. That's what he would tell them. They come back, he has a blazing fire going, roaring fire. I said, how'd you do that? He said, old Indian trick. So let me show it to you in a minute here. I've done it before, but where did I put it? Diddle-dee-dee, Millie. Come on, I know I brought it in here. Come on. Right behind me. When he told me what it was, he said it was just a couple quarts low. Old Indian trick. So what he would do is, just a quart of transmission fluid, a quart of motor oil or something. And they're all flammable, so he would get it going. Okay, that was my one match. One match. Nice thing about fat wood is it's got sap in it. That's why it's called fat wood. And it's very, once you get it going, it stays lit. Normally I would, split them down to the smaller. These are awful big. Come on. Okay. Yeah. Cheat. 2 matches. If I had some good tinder, which I didn't have a lighter stuff. Now you see the smoke. One thing I'll tell you about nice thing about top lit updraft is it's going to get the damper going really good. The stack heated up. That's why you call it top lit updraft. It creates draft. The draft, the heat goes up the stack and it sucks air in and it gets the fire going really good. I don't need this. That's a big piece of fat wood. I used my little kindling splitter and cut a lot of it smaller. But see, I can see the glow. You can see that? Yeah. Get the light off. There. Yeah, get some ambient light, background lighting. Oh, come on. losing daylight, so. Cot leg is in the way. Way bay. There's 7 holes there. It was so cool. When I would, I said I started one fire the first winter and one fire the second winter, and it would come back from being away for 3 days. There'd still be coals in there. I would put some wood in there, open the upper damper, open the lower damper, and about 30 seconds to a minute later, just hear whoosh, because it would just actually suck there's still heat in it, and so it would have an updraft, and it would suck the air in and just act like a forge and just shoot air right up the fire, the little coals at the bottom. It was really awesome. It was cool. Here's one of the bags I did outside, but I'm not going to use it. I was going to use it if I had to, but I'm not going to. I don't need it. And of course, you got trash that was laying around. Don't throw your trash away, especially with cardboard, paper, or plastic. Use it. Steam coming off the top is from water that I spilled on there. No big deal. Try to keep stuff from falling out, And I should have, a marble or steel plate here. We'll get something there, a tray or something. I like stainless steel because it lasts forever. And I got this too, but I don't need it. So there you go. If you get a propane tank, a propane nozzle, this is like the 3800, something like that. I'll look it up. Burnzomatic, whatever. But take care of it. Don't bang it around, because this is not stable right there. And the first one I got, I used it a lot, and these things just burned out and fell off. Abused it quite a bit, I guess. I didn't know at the time, but one day it just fell apart. Not repairable. I could see solder or something, but anyway. So you can hear it now. It's going good. Now, about an hour later, I can put more wood on it. I'll probably sneak a couple pieces in here just for shits, grins, and giggles, as they say. Old punky, rotten piece of wood. I'm going to get that in there pretty quick just to get it out of here. Okay, well, that's it. That's a top lit updraft fire. You want to warm the stack up, and that helps the fire draw in and create a lot less smoke. I had a friend one time, and I said, well, let me do a top lit. No, I want to get it started right now. I don't want to take an hour. Well, an hour later, I'd have put my first piece of wood on. So he sat there and got it going, and within about 20 minutes, we had both doors open in the middle of winter, both doors open and windows open to get the smoke out of the house, because he smoked the whole house up. That's not cool. So top lit updraft is much, much better, much more efficient, much more reliable, far more reliable. You can play with it. You can play with fire if you like doing it. That's fine. I don't mind it, but it's not efficient, and it's not. It's just not a good use of time or resources or anything. So, teepee fire, Lincoln log fire, whatever. That's all just old hat stuff. Most people are doing it right now. That's one good thing about YouTube. You learn a lot of stuff, valuable stuff. All right. I'm going to probably close this one off and do another one. Keep a glass to see who's on here. I want to have a talk. I got a little talk I want to go. Last night, I don't know, I think I got down to 40, 30, maybe 35, something like that. I don't even know, Tim. I can look it up. When I get on later, I'll look it up in between, hopefully, and check on it. Or you can just punch up Stockton and look, last night temperature in Stockton. It was chilly. I don't get in a sleeping bag. I just throw it over me and get my feet over it, inside of it. That's all I did. And I wasn't even cold. Not a big deal. I wasn't in here. I was in my fifth wheel. Anyway, no wood stove or nothing, but it was chilly. Chilly. Okay. Good night. I'm going to try to get on again. I just want to cut this one off because I don't want to get too long. All right. God bless everybody.